bags ain't a thing. Money bags ain't a thing. I do anything for you, queen. Push starts and diamond ring. Your fantasies, you wildest dream. Ain't here to play, I'm here to stay. Make your requests, pay what you want. See, this is what I'm on. If you wanna get
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host, guests, and callers who are responsible for their content and do not reflect the opinions of In Touch Radio or its staff.
Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy 21st day of October 2023. This is Dr. Michelle Williams. My co-host Walter Dunn. He is at the Legal Summit today in Tampa, Florida, where he's sitting on a panel where he's going to be talking about criminal justice reform. But I want to say welcome to each of you that's watching me live on social media land. Hello to all my Facebook fans and followers, my haters and motivators, those who God gonna bend over so I can step on your back to raise myself up. You better be careful what you say to me. Listen, good morning. We have a good show. We have an absolutely phenomenal show that I'm going to be talking about. One issue that, if not a few hundred people tagged me in over the last couple of days regarding a post that I had posted on social media on my Facebook page. And guys, as much as, you know, I listen to everybody that follows me. I listen to everybody that follows me. I listen to everybody that follows me. And I try so hard not to make things about black and white. I try to stay in between to see, I don't want to say a shadow or a gray area, but to see the right and the wrong side of everything that is happening in America. But when stupid things keep arising and you can't help but say, this is a racism issue. This is an issue that white America continues to play blacks with regarding criminal justice. There's a Facebook post that I posted, and I actually screenshot it. Because I said, you know, I didn't want anybody to think that I was making this up. The New York Post is talking about it. The Huffington Post is talking about it. Everybody is talking about it except the right people. In the state of Florida, there's a judge. The New York Court of Appeals unanimously found Judge Patari, 52 years old, exploited a classic common racist trope that black men are inherently threatening or dangerous, exhibiting bias or at least implicit bias according to the ruling. Patari, who held the post in Whitehall Town and Village Court since 2014, then later bragged about the incident several times to other judges and to a college journalist who wrote an article about it. The High Court was unpersuaded by the arguments from last month that Paturi was justified in his actions because he was afraid. Instead of determining that the defendant presented no threat to anyone when the judge pulled a gun on him in his courtroom. While judges are allowed to carry a concealed weapon and a gun on the bench, they can't brandish the firearm unless they believe someone else is using deadly force. Now, again, how can blacks go into a courtroom of law and expect justice to be rendered to them when you have racist judges who are sitting on the diocese and who are, just like this judge did, just 52 years old, just lost his whole career. just lost his whole entire career on his foolishness of saying that the reason why he pulled the gun on the black man because he was afraid. Now, I really believe that this happens a lot across America, that black men are targets when it comes to the judicial system, that black men are a target when it comes to racism inside the courtrooms, that black men are targeted across America in anything in any fashion that they do. It's a downright travesty that black men have this continuation of being traumatized by Americans. Now, you would think that one would be able to go inside of a courtroom of law, where a judge is supposed to remain biased, but this judge says that because he feared for his life, that's the reason why he pulled a gun on an innocent black man who was just there going through the judicial system. Now, how many times do you think that judges fear for themselves and their communities, and they hand out illegal sentences to black men? This is a conversation that we need to have, America. This is a conversation that we need to have across the board. The call-in number for today's show is area code 813-444-9588. I'm going to give out the information today to the event that Walter is at. So if anyone has any time and you want to go by, you're more than welcome to go by. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock a.m. So from 11 a.m. to 11:50 a.m., panel 3A, the transitional houses, is going to be discussing. Then they're going to take a break at 12 for lunch. Then it's going to be the author's corner, where authors who've written books, they're going to be speaking. Then from 2 p.m. to 2:50 p.m., there's going to be a workforce development, and then the closing panel is going to be on juvenile justice at 3 p.m. The address for the event is at the Tampa Preparatory School at 727 West Cass Street. That's in Tampa, Florida, and this is called the Tampa Bay Criminal Justice Summit. If you're interested in going over there, I'll screenshot and scan the QR code if you want to participate or purchase a ticket and go over and listen to what the speakers have to say on the Criminal Justice Summit. But back to this topic of this white judge who pulled out this gun on a black defendant because the judge alleges that he was in fear of his life. And it's saddening that this is one of the judges that got caught. But how many more judges that sit on the diocese and who have experiences or has been the target of some type of racism, or think that they're doing a justice and a service to the community by saying, you know what, I'm just going to over-sentence you to get rid of you because you're a menace to society. Black men have always remained target of slavery and racism in America. And this is a strong issue that this activist is not going to allow to just keep scathing by. I'm not going to allow my voice not to be heard when it comes to these issues regarding black men. Black men don't have a fighting chance in this country. Black men have never had a fighting chance in this country. I'm unsure when black men will be able to have a fighting chance in this country. Black men have always been the target of the miseducation of the black man, woman, and child, the predatory lending of the black man, woman, or child, the disenfranchisement of the black man from his family, the woman, and child, the mass incarceration of the black man, woman, and child. I mean, we can go on and on and on about this particular topic. We can say so much about this particular topic, but we know the answer to it all, and that's racism is leading and heading this country. And this is an issue that we can't stop talking about. This is an issue that we have to continue to speak about. This is an issue that we can never allow to go cold in our communities. This is an issue that we can never allow to go cold in the households, because black men are the targets. And if the black father is the target, what do you think is going to be next? the black child is the target next. And as we see, and as Walter and I have declared on this radio program several times on several different episodes, that Florida is number one in the nation at sending the most juveniles to prison. Juveniles don't even have a fighting chance. Now, if you get in a fight in school, they automatically want to suspend you. They automatically want to arrest you. They automatically want to put you through some type of criminal program. They automatically want to disenfranchise you from your rights. And no one, how many attorneys do we say that we have that's on the forefront that can say that they are actually standing up for justice and that they are actually standing up for civil rights in America? And this is where we are. This is where we are in America. It's a shame that we're having to go through this, but it is an issue, again, like I say, that we cannot stop talking about. Moving over to Tampa News, they are celebrating the grand opening of the new Tampa Center. And, I was speaking with another activist here in Tampa, and she says, have you driven over by the new Tampa Center yet? And I was like, no, ma'am, I haven't driven over there yet. She said, well, you need to go over there at nighttime and see the lights, how they got the lights all displayed. So, unbeknownst to me, I get in the car and I go over and I look, they got a whirlwind of different color lights just going on, the red, the pink, the green, the yellow. It would look like the rainbow. Just looked like the rainbow. I'm just being honest with you. It looks like the rainbow. But the center is beautiful. For $200 million, I expect, that's like the Taj Mahal. I expect it to be nothing less than beautiful. I took a virtual tour online. You can go online and you can take a virtual tour through each office and each department that they have over there. Again, the building is beautiful, but for $200 million and no black contractors were in on that, I got issues. I still take issues with that. We need to talk about some other things that's going on in Tampa. And I just want to say this. I don't think y'all know how to drive around a roundabout. I don't think y'all know how to drive around a roundabout. The yield that's painted on the road, the yield, that big yield word that's painted on the road, doesn't mean that you have to come to a complete stop, but it means that you have to slow your vehicle down for oncoming traffic. We just had a terrible accident because no one knows how to use those roundabouts. I mean, and it is in the handbook, the driver's handbook. It is in the driver's handbook. But I know, some people, take the test online and you cheat. You have somebody take it for you, your children, your baby mamas. But listen, learn how to drive, because innocent people are getting hurt because you don't know how to drive. And I'm real tired of it. It's just, it's too much, America. It's just too much. Now, I'm not sure whether or not you all know about this town that's up in Ocala called The Villages. The Villages is where a lot of old white retirees and old white people go up at. But they got this cold thing with the bathing sponges. The sponges like the loofah sponges, the green, the pink, the yellow, the purple, the green, and everything. Well, these colors mean different things, what they into. SMS, different sex positions, threesomes, men on men, women on women. Yeah, go on Google right now and Google The Villages in Florida. Them white people down there in Florida getting down. Yeah, they getting their freak on. Them old people getting their freak on. But let me tell you something. Speaking from a perspective as Dr. Michelle Williams, the most cases of gonorrhea right now are patients that are calling me and getting a hold of me for a homeopathic and holistic medication to cure STDs are older white people over the age of 55. Keep your cooter cat and your wing wang to yourself, and you won't have these issues of venereal diseases like chlamydia and trichomonas. Yeah, it's some nasty stuff going on. And I had a sickening week this week looking at reading questions and having to reply back. But it's paying the bills right now. That's all I can say. It's paying the bills right now. But yes, I want you all to Google The Villages of Florida. And these white people and the police, they can't do anything about it because these are grown consenting adults. And I seen this one old man. I promise y'all, go on Google right now and look at the villages of Florida. The old man on the golf cart, he got every color loofah on his golf cart. And so it was the comments for me. It was the comments for me. So these people up there running wild, butt naked. A white lady just got sentenced because she was running around butt naked. Well, she had on a top. She wasn't exposing her breasts. You know what I'm saying? Her tatas. She was just exposing the bottom half of her body with her loofah sponge around her like a tutu. Well, listen. You gotta love white people because white people say they gonna live free. And white people say you even to tell them what they can do and what they can't do. They gonna live free. It's just sad. Okay, in Tampa, a woman who dies after domestic violence incident in Tampa, they finally have caught the suspect. That's been all over social media because she was a pretty popular young girl in Tampa. And the thing about it is, the dude that did this, I know him and tried to talk to him last year about getting his head together and going to get some mental help. And he just didn't listen. You know, people reach out to me as a community leader. They reach out to me as being the spiritual practitioner and the hood healer, you know, and I was trying to tell him, look, brother, you know, you got some issues that you need to deal with within your life, and you need to deal with your mental health. And because he didn't listen, now he getting ready to serve a lot of time. He getting ready to serve a lot of time. You know, killed this woman and took her away from her family, took her away from her children. But a Tampa woman has died after domestic violence incident, and a man already in jail has been charged. On October the 15th, 2023, at approximately 9:37 a.m., officers began a death investigation at the 3300 block of East Firestone Avenue when a person found a female victim deceased after the woman's children asked for help. It was her children that found her. It was her children. Can you imagine the trauma that those children are going to go through after finding their mother deceased and dead? So, you know, I'm asking any of my friends who are psychiatrists and psychologists if we can offer and render the children some aid, and if we can offer the family members aid also as far as talking about their grief process. Officers arrived and found a deceased black female in her late 30s. During the investigations, officers quickly determined that the suspect, 43-year-old Freddie Adams Jr., had been arrested just a few days before a domestic battery incident against the woman and was currently in the Falkenberg Road jail. The domestic violence incident occurred on October the 13th at approximately 11:50 p.m. when the victim suffered obvious facial injuries, including a laceration. Tampa Fire and Rescue responded to the scene. However, the victim declined transport to the hospital for further medical evaluation. Adams was located down the street from the residence and taken into custody after midnight, charged with one count of battery. On the morning of October the 15th, 2023, the victim was found deceased by an acquaintance, said by the Tampa police. The medical examiner completed an investigation, determining that the victim's cause of death was a result to a blunt impact to the head from injuries sustained on October the 13th. So if the woman would have not declined going to the doctor, she would still be here, but she declined from going to the hospital to seek further treatment. And the sad thing about it is, me and some lawyers have been talking about this, and because of her declining, you know, even though he's still responsible for the domestic violence, but it's going to be hard to charge him with manslaughter. It's going to be hard to charge because she declined medical treatment. So, whew. But you know, that's just on to other things that we have to understand, that if you are involved in any type of domestic violence relationship or situationship, always know that there are places like the Spring of Tampa Bay for women. You can go and receive an injunction from the courthouse. You can call your local police department and just make sure that you get some help. Now, let's talk about this Chick-fil-A incident. Have y'all heard about the Chick-fil-A incident? A Florida woman sues Chick-fil-A for at least $50,000 after allegedly consuming black chicken nuggets in 2020. How do you consume black? Like, if you eating a chicken nugget and you bite into it, I'm going to stop eating it because I don't know what's going on. And I'm going to go back to the establishment or the restaurant and say, hey, look, something's wrong with this food that I just purchased from y'all. How can we handle that? But you want to consume all of the food and put the toxins in your body, then turn around and say, everybody looking for a come up, man. I just can't deal with it right now. I can't deal. But how you eat black chicken nuggets? How do you eat black chicken nuggets? Like no, you knowingly ate this food. Oh, wow. You knowingly ingested this food. That's.
Oh, they don't look right.
But you're gonna keep on eating them.
What's wrong with it?
But you're gonna keep on eating them. Let's get into this. The Shade Room reported this. A 29-year-old Florida woman has filed a negligence lawsuit against Chick-fil-A seeking at least $50,000 in damages, according to the Fox 35 Orlando news station. Shetara Sharp filed the suit on Thursday, alleging she ate a black chicken nugget from one of the restaurant locations in 2020. According to the outlet, Sharp filed the lawsuit in Orange County, Florida. Sharp alleges that she purchased chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A in Brooksville on January 8, 2020. Then she consumed the nuggets at her residence. The woman alleges that she ate the food. She noticed the meat of the nuggets was black colored. Additionally, she became violently ill and experienced diarrhea, cramps, and nausea. Again, if you ate one, why you gonna keep sitting there dipping them in the sauce of your choice, the condiment, and you gonna keep? I just want to. I can't do it right now. I can't do it right now. So, directly after consuming the chicken nuggets purchased from the defendant plaintiff, the plaintiff became violently ill and nauseated, vomited until she had no strength left to do so. She suffered from cramping, nausea, and diarrhea. The lawsuit reads on and on and on. Ultimately, the lawsuit alleges Sharp sustained great injury to multiple parts of her body. Multiple parts of your body. It just had to be your stomach and your butt for the diarrhea. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, it's just the injured areas reported were her mouth, her throat, her stomach, and her digestive system. Okay, I do get that. You consumed it, which is your mouth. Your throat, because you had to swallow it. Going down your intestines, small and large, until, and
she don't named every part of her body, the small intestine.
Listen what the girl said. She said, I was sick as a dog. I lost so much weight due to what happened. Hi, you lost weight just that quick. How you lost weight just that quick? She said, I lost so much weight to what had happened. Sharp reportedly told the Daily Mail. So she all over the place now because the Daily Mail is like all over, including Europe. According to the Daily Mail, Sharp reached out to the company in 2020 following the incident. However, Chick-fil-A reportedly alleged there was nothing wrong with the meat. Furthermore, the suit adds that Sharp has undergone great pain and suffering for some time and has been diagnosed with gastrointestinal illnesses. Now let me see. Let me tell you something, because I'm a holistic doctor and I deal a lot with the digestive system because of the detox teas that I give out and I sell for free to the community to say, look, clean out your digestive system because it can be impacted with fecal that has been there for several years. So unless you've been seeing a gastrologist to say that you have gastrointestinal illnesses, eating bad food that causes food poisoning is not going to cause that type of harm. And that would be something that would be temporary. It's hard to find a case of food poisoning that will give lasting effects of, wait a minute, I ain't working for Chick-fil-A, but I'm just saying, as a doctor perspective, that's hard to say. You can have temporary inflictions from food poisoning, but you would have to have some type of rat poisoning or radiator fluid that was put inside of a food, or some type of fentanyl drug or something like that along those lines to have permanent damages. But eating some bad meat, how many times as a child we not drunk some spoiled milk, ate bad milk? Mama ain't know that the ground beef smelled bad until we all ate it and everybody got sick at the eating spaghetti because she couldn't smell it because she done daced it with paprika, black pepper, onions, green peppers, red peppers. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, girl, get off your feelings and get over yourself and stop this foolishness.
Take an animal and she'll be fine.
I can't with you this morning. I can't with you. Oh my goodness. Listen. So listen, okay, now this is what's going on around. Every bus driver in Hillsborough County now call me. Tampa bus driver arrested after confrontation with parents and fleeing with the children on board. So the bus driver, white man, got into an argument with a black daddy. He like, look, man, something going on in this bus with my daughter, yada, yada, woo, woo. The bus driver get into a huge, like, da, 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 with the man. And the man was just like, yo, wait a minute, hold on. The bus driver closed the door with the daddy on the bus and just take off. And parents are beating on the bus saying, let my children out, let my children out. Well, they quickly handled that situation right quick. That's the first time in the history of the Hillsborough County School Board that I've seen them kick into action that fast. Let's get into this story. A Tampa bus driver pickup turns chaotic as a confrontation between a parent and a bus driver leads to an arrest. The incident involving the full bus of scared children has sparked outrage among parents who are now blaming the bus driver. We're going to get into this a little bit further. We're going to see if we can the bus driver was caught on tape. You can go to WFLA News Channel 8 and look at the story, but it was kind of quite disturbing. And you know, I just really feel that one of these engineers are going to get the one woman who did the story where she said, "I was beaten on the bus. So I'm looking for that to be a jingle like ain't nobody got time for that." So how they made her famous, I already see that thing coming out. I was beating on the bus. So we get ready to see it, guys. Guys, we're going to take a brief commercial break real here, and we'll be right back in a few moments. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Stay Woke Show. We'll be right back.
You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecues? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen or sundown. 1-800-361-RICK. That's 1-800-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 1-800-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Now 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay. You are tuned into the second hour, the half hour of the Stay Woke Show with Dr. Michelle Williams, our comrade and true brother Walter Dunn. It's over at the Tampa Bay Legal Summit, and that's located at 727 Cass Street in Tampa, Florida. I'm going to put in the QR code once I finish with the show, and if you guys are interested in going over, purchasing the ticket, you're more than welcome to do so. Now let's just get into this because Florida got some crazy news, and this is another disturbing thing that has me 29 arrested in Hillsborough County, 12-hour proactive operation in high crime areas. So they're saying in Tampa, Hillsborough County, Florida, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office carried out a proactive operation on Thursday, October the 19th, 2023, with the goal of lowering crime rates in areas of the county that are known to have high crime rates. District 1, which primarily included the neighborhoods around the USF and Lutz, Lake Magdalene, Pebble Creek, and was the focus of the particular operation. For this cooperative effort, members of the Street Crimes Unit, Motor Unit, Gang Unit, Opioid Overdose Investigations, Warrants Aviation, and K9 came together to carry out this mission. 29 were arrested, traffic stops 203, guns seized 1. Among those that were arrested was Malik Tice, 26 years old, who was charged with grand theft motor vehicle after stealing a motorcycle. These proactive measures should give our community confidence in our deputies, said Sheriff Chad Conister. Your sheriff's office will always put the safety and well-being of our citizens first. This comprehensive effort from various units and sections of the team Hillsborough HCSO sends a clear message that we won't stand for crime in the communities we're sworn to protect. Y'all better stop this foolishness. Unless you got bail money. If you ain't got bail money, if you're stuck in jail and you can't make bail, who are you gonna call? Ash Shell. Y'all know I have my Ash Shell Criminal and Social Justice Referral Network. So if you in jail and you can't make bail, you better call Ash Shell. You better call me, 813-867-7400. Polk County, Florida, Sheriff Grady Judd. Let me tell you something. That is the only white man in America that I like, Sheriff Grady Judd. That is the only white man in America that I like. Grady Judd, 6 Lakeland gang members arrested by Polk County Sheriff Operation Gangs and Guns. Y'all better stop this foolishness. And some of y'all sons getting caught up in this stuff. Okay? Y'all remember the Florida lawmaker who was pinned as Don't Say Gay? Okay, he was sentenced to prison for over $1 million in PPP loan money that he stole and fraudulently got. Now, I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff. If it's made up, then we got to have a problem. We're going to have an issue with newsbreak.com because I get all my stories from newsbreak.com. Okay, so, okay. Be careful, guys, with these construction companies. I know that a lot of you all have come into some new fame and fortune. You're getting your retirement funds and everything. I don't want to see your retirement funds be wasted on fake contractors and contractors who are just going to steal your money, okay? 2 Tampa contractors have been arrested for construction theft. Roberto Dominguez, 54, was charged with stealing and stolen property. My God, and then Antonio Bravo, 52, dealing in stolen property, grand theft, second degree. Let's get into this story. Tampa, Florida. Hillsborough County Sheriff deputies arrested 2 men for stealing thousands of dollars worth of construction materials. On October the 16th, 2023, deputies responded to Tampa pavement constructors located at 5414 North 56th Street. That's right in Temple Terrace, y'all know from Tampa, to talk to an individual about an incident at the location. Through the investigation means and working with the business, deputies learned that the supervisors had observed Antonio Vargas Bravo, 52, an employee loading a truck of approximately $1,600 worth of paving materials and leaving the property. Deputies later conducted a traffic stop while Roberto Dominguez, 54, was driving the vehicle. So y'all was in cahoots, so y'all deserve to go to jail at this point, period. I'm just tired of the foolishness. Okay, this whatever. Okay, everybody is going crazy about this new restaurant owned by an actor who plays in a lot of and has starred in a lot of Tyler Perry movies and plays. It is opening soon in the Tampa Bay area, so let's show him some support. Now, I just cannot make this stuff up. We got to deal with this. Ladies, if y'all single, please make sure that you have measures in place to keep yourself safe while you are home alone and while and while you are sleeping alone. A Florida woman awakes to find the apartment building maintenance man in bed with her. A Florida woman wakes to find the building maintenance man in bed with her. Wallace Miller, a registered sex offender, allegedly tapped the victim on the shoulder to wake her up. Lord help. The police have arrested the 64-year-old black man for letting himself in the apartment in the bed of the woman living in the very complex where he works. Wallace Miller was working as the maintenance man at the apartment building in Panama City. According to the police, he entered the home of the female resident on Tuesday morning and climbed into her bed as she slept. Miller allegedly tapped the woman on her shoulder to wake her up. The startled woman recognized Miller from his working in the building and attempted to defend herself, fighting him off. Miller, who is a registered sex offender, allegedly fled the apartment and the victim called 911. He was quickly apprehended soon after that and charged with burglary and battery. It was unclear if Miller had appeared before a judge to enter pleas to the charges. Likewise, information on the attorney was available as of Wednesday. Y'all keep yourselves safe, man, because it's some sick puppies out here. It really is. It's some sick, sick people out here, and I want you all to know it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Residents at a West Side complex may legally break lease due to unsanitary and unsafe conditions. Let's get into this story. Residents at the West Side complex may legally break lease due to unsanitary and unsafe conditions. Discovery of how residents in the Colonial Forest apartments plagued by unsanitary conditions and neglect may have the right to legally break their leases. Learn about the necessary steps, including obtaining a code citation and issuing a 7-day notice to escape these hazardous living conditions. Guys, please be careful. And you have to understand, I know a lot of these apartment complexes have become retaliatorial in people sending them notices that they're withholding the rents and that they're not going to pay the rents because of the hazardous conditions that they are living in. And I want you all to know that if you all need my services, you know that I have been a landlord tenant advocate for many minutes since 2008, going on 20 years now. Going on 20 years now. And used to be a HUD advocate. And if you guys need help, don't be afraid to reach out. I'd rather for you guys to get the help that you need from the attorneys, one of the attorneys that's inside of my network. And we'll make sure that you guys are going to be all right. And here again, finding herself in the dumb people's news, Roseanne Barr bizarrely claims Jewish and black people who vote Democrat are severely mind controlled. I'm not even going to get into that story because that lady I don't know what happened to Roseanne. Something just happened to her for real. 50 Cent reacts to the mass BMF arrest, promises new spinoff of the TV show. So y'all get ready for that. After urging from 2 black congresswomen, FDA planning to ban the harmful chemicals in hair relaxers. So, guys, again, black women across America, including myself, who I've been relaxer free for the last 13 and a half years. I have not had a perm relaxer or any type of chemicals in my hair in the last 13 and a half years. But I can tell you one major thing about this. I am a part of this claim because of the headaches that I suffered from. And at a very young age, at a very, very tender young age of just 21 years old, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer where they had to remove partial of my right ovary because of this. And so the doctors and the medical teams and the lawyers have been able to go all the way back and put me as one of the lead plaintiffs for this claim for the state of Florida. Ultimately, I had to have a complete hysterectomy in 1998 after continuing the usage of the hair relaxers, Dark and Lovely, olive oil, And when my hair started graying, I started using the Dark and Lovely for women of color with gray hair. So I'm actually now the lead plaintiff for the state of Florida for this chemical uh, induced hair relaxer that we have to. So I want you all to know that you guys can still be a part of this. If you guys have had any type of gynecological problems where you have had severe bleeding, fibroid tumors, major headaches, migraines that are unexplainable when you live a quiet conditioned life and you're just having headaches, but yet you still, and let me tell you something, the hair relaxers were so strong after using them. My mother used them and my hair is growing up as a child. When I got older as a teenager, I should say, because my grandmother used to straighten my hair until I became a teenager. Then my mother started straightening with the relaxers. And so like clockwork, every 6 to 8 weeks, I was at the beautician with my mother and my grandmother, sitting in the beauty salon chairs, getting my hair relaxed and all that good stuff and all that good jazz. But what I found out that if in that time frame of the 6 to 8 weeks when my new growth started to come in, like I literally started experiencing headaches until I got that creamy crack. We call it the creamy crack, until I got that creamy crack in my head. So that hair relaxer really does do something to you. So you guys got to be real careful about that. So it's just like, oh my goodness. But just know that you have rights and just know that you still have time to make a claim. Let's talk about Kamala Harris, the vice president of these United Snakes of America. Protesters gather outside of Vice President Kamala Harris' Brentwood home, calling for a Middle East ceasefire. Like, y'all going outside this lady home, like she the one that put this war in the hands. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm not going to get into this because I'm just like, good Lord have mercy. That's all I can say. Man arrested after firing gun after argument in Tampa, police say. Tampa, Florida, WFLA News Channel 8 is the source of this. A man was arrested Friday after allegedly firing a gun after an argument in Tampa, according to the police. The Tampa police shot down North Brook Streets in Sulphur Springs in the neighborhood on Friday due to a possible barricaded suspect. However, the police learned that the suspect was not in the house. Officers made contact with the suspect, identified as 26-year-old Roger Williams, and he agreed to return to the location. Williams was taken into custody and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 2 counts of shooting into an occupied vehicle, according to the police. Look, again, guns don't kill people. Stupid people with guns kill people. I don't know how many times we could say that. That's the best line that Chris Tucker could have said in Money Talks. Black millionaire says he was racially profiled and denied entry at a London bar. Well, I don't know why black people who think that, their money is going to get them into places, because racism is real. Racism don't look at the color of your money. Racism has always looked at the color of your skin. So get ready for some stupidity. Florida bill would aim to evaluate the definition of marriage as between a man and a woman. So here we go again. We people up in the law department of the Florida State Capitol around here playing God. So we're gonna just see about this one. I'm gonna follow this one right here. One black family's sovereign fight to keep their land. This is a sad, sad story. With Silver Dollar Road occupied, October the 20th, Prime Video, Oscar-nominated I Am Not Your Negro director Raul Peck adapts Lizzie Presser's this article. The family bought land one generation after slavery. The Reels brothers spent 8 years in jail for refusing to leave it. Nonetheless, the journalistic rigor is not a documentary story. It is an actual true story. In North Carolina, the story of the North Carolina clan struggling to retain their family land in the face of intense developer pressure. It paints a warm portrait of relatives sticking together through thick and thin when it comes to its central legal struggle, though it leaves out so many crucial details that it cuts itself off at its knees. Uh, the county in North Carolina, Gertrude Reels owns dozens of acres that she inherited from her ancestors and first acquired it courtesy of Elijah Reels in 1911, located on Silver Dollar Road, which leads straight down to the water. This estate was the gathering place for generations of Reels men and women, including Gertrude's daughter Mamie Ellison and granddaughter Kim Dorm, who waxed nostalgic about the magical time spent roaming around, playing, hanging out with uncles who told tales of mermaids when they weren't uploading seafood. Oh, that's so sweet. From their commercial fishing boats. Music, dancing, barbecues, and other festivities were routine facets of summers at the Dollar Road House, and where they all were due to Gertrude's claim to the plot, courtesy of her heirs, the property laws, which state that the land is passed down through inheritance without even the pressure of a formal will. In 1978, Gertrude's rights of ownership was called into question by her uncle Cedric. Here we go again. It's always the greedy people in the family. When a family member inherits things, it's always that one family member who say, you know what, nah, that's my golden goose. Let me just go ahead and just try to trip you up. Let me go ahead and try to trip you up to see if I can take what is rightfully yours and see if I can swindle it from you. So in 1978, Cedric comes forward with this claim that on March 19, 1979, a court sided with him, granting him and later a firm known as Adams Creek Associate ownership of 13 waterfront acres. The incident initiated a legal battle in Silver Dollar Road hostilities, and via the brief preceding text cards and newspaper headlines about how former slaves had transformed swamplands into rich and vibrant areas, and how in the early 20th century white supremacists has terrorized black southern lowland owners. The implication is clear. Cedric was in league with being exploited by white Adams Creek Associate businessmen who sought to snatch the Reels property and presumably develop in a manner akin to the surrounding projects with homes, golf courses, and boat slips fit with wealthy tourists. Again, it's always something up when it comes to the land that's owned by black people. If everybody stops selling grandmama house, if everybody stops selling great grandmama and great granddaddy house, if everybody stops selling the family heirloom home, we wouldn't have this issue. My great grandfather died when I was 11 years old in room 207 at St. Joseph Hospital. We had to bring him down from Jefferson County, Florida. We had to bring him down from Jefferson County, Florida, to the St. Joseph Hospital because the hospital was better with the technology and everything. My grandfather died holding my left hand. He put what they call a death grip on me, where it took nurses and doctors to remove my grandfather's hand from me because I was born on my great-grandfather's birthday, where that old beautiful white man watched me be born. My mother gave birth to an oracle. My mother gave birth to me, an angel. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you all say, because you don't have a heaven or hell to put me in. And you ain't the judge of me, nor are you the boss of me. You better be careful, because you don't never know who you entertaining or who you around here trying to show up and showboat in front of. There's always something going on. My family to this day still owns my great-grandmother's cemetery in Tallahassee, Florida. We still own the 3,000 acres of land in Tallahassee, Florida, in Jefferson County. And we ain't going nowhere. That family ain't going nowhere. You know why? Because we have pulled ourselves together that no one will ever be able to take our land away from us. No one will be able to take our land away from us. So you have to understand that when you're going through these type of things, if you are having issues with a probate, if one of your loved ones has died and you are having issues regarding probate, it will behoove you to get in contact with Attorney Clinton Paris, who is one of the radio personalities right here on In Touch News and Radio. You can get a hold of Clinton through his Facebook page. You can get a hold of him by visiting his the YouTube station here on In Touch News and Radio on YouTube, and you can reach out to him and say, Attorney Paris, I have a situation that's going on. Attorney Paris, along with Attorney Life Malcolm, Attorney Haiti Odapreza, Attorney Christine Edwards, Attorney Shamika Askew. I don't want to make sure I don't forget anybody. So we had Clinton, Life, Haiti, Christine, and Shamika. We had those attorneys that were at our first legal summit here, where they offered free pro bono hours from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. on October the 7th of this month, and it was the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen before in my life, where so many people came in. I seen dozens of people sitting in front of Attorney Clinton Paris because they were having issues with their land and they were having issues with probate. So just always know that by subscribing to the In Touch News and Radio YouTube channel, you are in the right place, where you have the plethora of the community leaders who are here. You have Miss Cusick that does the business talk. You have I can't remember her name right off the top of Angela Birdsong, who's she's a political activist. You have Attorney Life Malcolm, who's the attorney. You have Miss Tampa Bay Tammy, who talks about marriages, love, and relationships. You have myself and Walter Dunn, who talk and speak about every issue across the board when it comes to criminal justice reform. You have Mic'd Up Mondays with former NFL player Michael Clayton. So you have a lineup of the teams that you need. So consider subscribing to our YouTube channel here on In Touch News and Radio, where we're all reality stars. But I'm the real. I'm the star. We're all stars though, but I'm that star. I can't even tell you. Stop me. But we had a good time today bringing you this broadcast program. I want you guys to make sure that you stay tuned to the Sunday Gospel Hour that In Touch News and Radio have. That's one thing I say. I love the Gospel Hour here, because when I'm so happy that we still doing post-COVID at our church. We in from 11 a.m. to 12:15, and if you and my pastor and bishop at 12:16 get here, he gonna come up there and pull on your coattail and say, "Hey, look, we a minute behind. I mean, a minute over. You need to sit down." So I'm loving it. So I'm home by 1 o'clock, and I still got time to do laundry, get my stuff prepared for the week. And remember, I am your holistic hood healer doctor in the Tampa Bay area, and I want to say, I am so when I see greatness happening in our community, I see they took Club 1828 and turned it into a wellness community center for the community. And the grand opening was there. House of Representative Diane Hart was there at the ribbon cutting, and I'm so happy that happened. So there is no longer 1828 that had been plagued with bodies on the ground, gunshots, fights, and everything. They took a ugly duck and turned it into a beautiful swan. The grand opening was yesterday. When I tell you, that is state of the art. The young black doctor, she received $350,000 from the city of Tampa from the block grant program. So, I have doctors who are working with me, Dr. Anthony Bobo Sr., Coach B, who's also a doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist, and Dr. Chelsea Murray up in North Carolina. So, we're pulling this team together. So not only am I your activist, I'm your hood healer, spiritual mind and body. We're going to work on it. Guys, if y'all can see what I can see, we be clouded up in here. We have such a good time. You know why we have such a good time on In Touch News and Radio? And we're just not on internet radio. If you have a business, if you are one of my political candidates that have come in and you are seeking to have some advertisement, let me tell you something. In Touch News Print, honey, they get out 10,000 plus copies every month into these black-owned businesses, these beauty shops, these barbershops, these black-owned restaurants, these doctors' offices. So if you looking to get some just take a look at In Touch News and Radio Print. Tell them Dr. Michelle Williams sent you. You ain't getting no discount. Well, we all got a light bill that we got to pay around here. Thank you all so much for tuning into another great episode of the Stay Woke Show with Dr. Michelle Williams and Walter Dunn, who in his absence, he's over at the Tampa Bay Legal Summit at 727 West Cass Street. I'm going to be scanning the QR code to put it in if you want to go over and get a ticket to go over to attend the event. You guys go do it. Y'all got plain Jane today, honey, because I ain't want to put my makeup on too early because I'm going to my uncle's 60th Return Around the Sun birthday party today. Again, thank you, Tampa Bay Tammy and DJ CEO, Mr. Daryl Johnson, for having a dream that turned into a vision that manifested into reality. We thank you so much, Pops, for giving us a platform on the Stay Woke Show. God bless.